Hi everybody, I just want to share with you my everyday makeup routine, so if you're interested in seeing how to get this look, please continue to watch. Thanks! Okay, so the first thing I've done is put on my Morning Burst Hydrating Gel Moisturizer by Clean & Clear. This is my everyday moisturizer. I put it on twice a day after I wash my face. And then I also have put on my Benefit Pore Professional Primer. That's all I have done thus far. So first I'm going to start with my True Blend Covergirl Liquid Foundation, and this is in Ivory, in the shade Ivory. So usually I take about 3 pumps of that, and then I take my beauty sponge, and I use my E.L.F. Makeup Mist and Set, and I give it a pump on that back end, and then a pump on the point. Now this is just a regular beauty blender that I found at TJ Maxx. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go in with my Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 15 Fair. I'm just going to put a little bit of this under my eyes, kind of conceal the dark circles. Nothing too fancy. I'm pretty fair, so I've never found a concealer that I can use as like a highlighter, like a lot of the darker toned people I see on YouTube. Unfortunately, for fair-skinned people, you just have to use like powders or kind of like yellow creams. And I'm just gonna blend that out. I don't have super bad dark circles, but sometimes when I'm really tired, I wake up, you can really tell. I do have really dark areas right here in like the corner of my eye. So there is that. So I'm just gonna let that kind of sit for a minute. So I'm gonna set my foundation with my E.L.F. HD powder, and it's actually in the shade Shimmer. It's not the translucent one that I use. I don't know why, I just prefer this one over the translucent. It is just, I mean, it gives a little bit of color, and it doesn't have as big of a problem with like the flashback as the translucent powder does. So I guess that's really kind of why I prefer it. And you don't need very much for this. A little bit goes a long way. So I've had this particular powder for a couple months, and I use it every single day. I'm only like halfway through it, so I will warn you though, it is not a matte powder. So if you don't want to have just a bit of shimmer on your face naturally, you won't like this. Go up to my eyes. So the first thing I'm going to do is go in with my Ulta Clear Brow Gel, and I'm just going to put some of that on my eyebrows, kind of keep them in place for the day. Brows are done. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is go in with this Clinique Chubby stick, and it's in the shade Bountiful Beige. This is all it looks like, and I'm just gonna use this as a primer on my eyelids. I'm just gonna go in like that. These Chubby sticks are perfect because they're light. They're a light pop of color, so I guess if you just wanted something like natural, you could have just used this, but they aren't like sticky or anything like that, and you don't have to use your fingers or a brush, which is so much more convenient when you're trying to rush in the morning, so that's why I prefer it. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to go in with is in this NYX Love of Paris palette, and let's see. It doesn't show a name for this color. So I'm just going to go in with this like dark brown one here in the corner, and I'm going to be using my E.L.F. Professional Blending Eye Brush. And I'm just going to take a bit of that. This palette is super pigmented, so you don't need a lot of product. and I will also warn you that it has quite a bit of fallout. I am not one to be extremely picky about fallout. It's not like an overly big deal to me. Some people, especially a lot of the YouTubers that I watch, absolutely hate it. But like I said, it's not that big of a deal to me to have fallout. I think it's gonna happen no matter what. So the next color I'm going to go in with, I'm gonna put all over my lid, and it's going to be in this Essence All About Nudes palette. I am going to go in with this, I guess it's like a, you can't really see, it's like a cream shade right over here. I'm gonna go in with this one. And I have found that this palette has quite a bit of fallout as well. But I'm just going to pat that all over my lid, up into the crease. Also, of course, like as long as you tap off the excess, you're gonna have less fallout, and the patting motion causes less fallout than if you do like a sweep across your lid. So this is just like a nice bright neutral color, nothing too dramatic. It would literally go with everything. You can use it as an all over lid color or even a highlight. I use it as a highlight quite often, but today it's just gonna hang out down here. And everything does get blended out in the end. I know it looks kind of like harsh lines right now. It'll all come together here in a bit. So next I'm going to go back into my NYX Love of Paris palette, and I'm going to be using my E.L.F. contour brush, and I'm going to go into this top shade, this brown shade. It's super glittery. Once again, it is super pigmented and has a lot of fallout. Anyways, so I'm just going to put that kind of in this outer V and bring it in to my crease. So this is just something a little bit extra to really darken up that crease. And what I like to do after that as well is just take a little bit and kind of sweep it in along that lash line and then bring it up. It kind of helps blend them in together. So instead of doing like half of the eyelid, I just kind of make a V with it. And then when you close your eye, the eyeshadow kind of does the rest of the work. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come back through with my E.L.F. professional blending brush, and I am just going to kind of blend these eyeshadows out a little bit more. So maybe the lines aren't quite as harsh. But I am going to continue with this brush, and I'm going to go back into my Essence All About Nudes palette, and I'm going to use this like light pink, it's pretty shiny color over here, the side. It's not extremely pigmented, however, it's just kind of like a bright pink color. So I'm just going to use that as a highlight right here along my brow bone. And I'm also going to go back in with my E.L.F. contour brush from their Studio line, and I'm also going to take that bright pink shade and I'm going to put it down here in my crease to help kind of brighten that up as well. And then I'm going to go back to my NYX Love of Paris palette, and I'm going to take that dark brown shade, the very, very first one I used, that's the matte, and I'm going to take a little bit of that and pat it kind of like in the outer V, and then sweep it down along my bottom lashes. You don't need very much of that to kind of get the effect. But the reason I pat it especially right there is because my eyes are pretty watery and oily, So I find that it helps just to really pat it in there. Just to ensure that I do get some color in that kind of corner of my eye. And then I'm going to go back up to this second brown one that I use, this glitter one. I'm going to take a little bit of that and I'm just going to sweep it right here. Not all the way across, but about half the way along my bottom lashes. Okay. And so that is my eyeshadow look for today. Kind of like today, this eye looks a little bit harsh, so I'm actually just going to go back in with my blending brush. Kind of blend it out a little bit more. This side doesn't look too bad. Sometimes I just kind of sweep off like that. Helps get a little bit of that excess off. Okay. So next I do my eyeliner, and I'm going to be using the E.L.F. Precision Liquid Liner from their Studio line. It's not highly pigmented, it's okay. Gets the job done. But I'm just going to go in with this, and my eyeliner is pretty basic for my day-to-day look. I'm just going to be making like a little bit of a wing. So there's that. Pretty basic. I don't do anything super dramatic. When I go to work, I don't wear like false lashes or anything like that. I just do it pretty natural. So that's kind of why it's just basic. Okay, so then this eyeliner takes a little while to dry before I do anything further. So now I'm going to go back and finish off my face. The first thing I'm going to be using is my Ulta Contouring Kit. And I'm going to be using my E.L.F. bronzing brush, and I'm going to go in with this lower color. It's called Bombshell. These are super pigmented, so you also do not need a lot of these colors. I'm just going to get some of that on my brush. Then I'm going to start up here. I'm just going to contour out. I'm going to take a little bit of that, and I am going to go along my jawline. Blend that out. I'm going to take this one and I'm going to go up along my hairline as well. So there is that one. And next I'm going to go in with my E.L.F. blush that I just bought. And I'm going to be using my E.L.F. blush brush from their Studio line. I'm just going to get quite a bit of that on my brush. Shake that off. And then I just make a circle. And then I drag it back. So a circle on the apple of my cheek, and then I kind of drag it back. And blend it in with the bronzer that I just used to help contour. So next I'm going to go in with my E.L.F. Baked Blush in the shade Pink Tastic. I'm going to be using this as my highlight today. It is my favorite highlight to use because it does have a hint of the pink in there, even though it is pretty like bright and shiny, and I love a nice highlighted face. So it's the perfect thing to blend in with your blush, but still not show super pinky, I guess is the weird thing. And I'm just going to be using my E.L.F. bronzing brush again. Sweep that. my nose, my cupid's bow, a little bit on my chin. Then I'm just gonna go up here above my brow bone. Just gonna like do a little bit of a sweep. Okay. So there's that. So that finishes off my face. Next I'm gonna go back and finish off my eyes. The first thing I'm going to do is, where did it go? Going to go in with my Ulta automatic eyeliner in black. And I am going to line my waterline and tightline my eyes as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my Mary Kay Lash Love Lengthening Mascara in the shade I Love Black. So the only reason I use this mascara is because my sorority gets free samples from Mary Kay almost every single year. So I've been getting this mascara for years for free. I haven't bought mascara in, well, you know, like 4 years. And I have a huge pile of them sitting up, and I will not have to buy mascara for quite a while. So I just use this as my nice basic. I mean, it gets the job done. It's really good, has really good pigment. Can't talk today. And this is what the brush looks like. I'm not a huge fan of the brush, but beggars can't be choosers when it's free. So I'm just going to do a basic kind of layer on my lashes, and I do kind of like do a little curl there towards the bottom of them to ensure they get a good amount of product, and then I just sweep up. So I'm going to do that on both sides. Sorry, my nose always runs when I do my tight lining, so sometimes I have to like go back through and redo the makeup on my cupid's bow because my nose has been watering a lot. And it's not even like I'm sick, it's just from opening my eyes really wide, I guess. Tends to make my nose run. And I don't know if everybody else has that kind of problem, maybe it's just me. If you do, how about giving me a like? Just like it for weird things that happen when you're doing your makeup. And maybe make a comment. If you guys have comments on what I'm doing, please leave them down below. Whether it's like, hey girl, get a better mirror, because I really do need that. Or if it's like, I have that product, I never would have thought of using it that way. Or if you have questions or anything like that, just please leave it down below. So I'm just continuing with this Mary Kay mascara on my bottom lashes. And girl, let me tell you, all of the YouTubers that I watch make it look so easy to put on mascara while filming and do all of this while filming. It's not that easy. That is what I have learned, is it's not that easy. Okay, so the next thing I do is I do go in with this Maybelline New York Illegal Lash mascara. It has fiber extensions in it. So, like I said, on my everyday makeup, I don't wear falsies. I just roll with what I have, which I do have pretty long eyelashes, I'm not gonna lie. And I don't even have to curl them, they're just naturally that way. So this mascara looks like this. This one is kind of messy, I'm not gonna lie. But what I just do is I kind of just hit up the ends of my eyelashes because they are blonde. I have lashes that are black at the tip and then blonde at the top. So I just go in with this on like the top half of all my lashes and I just do fast sweeping motions, and then I go back through and do a full length motion to help kind of separate and finish the volume. And I'm going to do my other eye. So this I just find helps lengthen them out and ensure that each eyelash has a decent amount of mascara on it. Ooh, and I got some on my nosy. Happens all the time. And I'm just going to go back through and finish out my volume. Okay. So now I'm just going to go in with my E.L.F. Makeup Mist and Set. This is just the original one. I haven't gotten the new ones. I really want to try the new matte one. I'm just going to set my makeup. You can really tell that it's super wet still. It dries pretty well, but sometimes I just gotta rub it in a little bit. And then the very, very, very last thing I do, and right before I leave the house, is I pick a lipstick to wear. Today I'm going to be wearing the E.L.F. Moisturizing Lipstick, and this is in the shade Pink Minx. So it's just really basic, kind of nude. It's like a pink with a little bit of a coralish undertone. So there is that. Yep, so I don't do lip liner on my regular days because I just want something quick that I can throw on during my breaks just to revamp it up. So here is the finished look. Thanks. Bye. So here I am setting up all of my stuff and getting ready to film, and this guy decides he's gonna drop by. He wants to be in my film. Let's put some makeup on you.